OK, OK. Donc, je vais me résumer. Je disais tantôt que ce groupe a été créé tout simplement pour canaliser les efforts que nous faisons afin que le maximum de personnes puissent trouver des solutions à leurs préoccupations sans toutefois poser la même question à tout moment. Ça veut dire que s'il y a une préoccupation que tu as et que la préoccupation a déjà été résolue, n'est-ce pas? Donc, je disais tantôt que ce groupe a été créé pour pouvoir canaliser les efforts. Ceux qui vont venir en retard, bon, vont écouter l'enregistrement que je vais faire, que je vais reposter dans le groupe. Yeah. C'était pour que chaque fois que il y a que ce soit une question avant même le processus, parce que il y a des gens qui ont des questions avant. Et comment faire, qui est éligible, quelle est l'implication que ça a, est-ce que ça peut m'empêcher de faire ceci ou cela. Donc, il y a tellement de personnes, n'est-ce pas, qui parfois ont même des questions avant même qu'on ne commence le processus. Et c'est pour ça qu'on a mis dans ce groupe même des gens qui n'ont même pas encore appliqué, c'est-à-dire qui sont encore sur la phase de questionnement pour savoir s'ils sont même éligibles ou pas. Oui, on les a mis dans le groupe. Maintenant, ceux qui ont même commencé à appliquer, n'est-ce pas, dans leur processus, les gens ont des questions. Donc, dans le processus, il y a les uns qui disent que j'ai appliqué what next. OK, j'ai fait. Yeah, désolé. Il arrive. J'étais en train de dire tantôt que ce groupe spécifiquement est fait pour pouvoir adresser les questions. Oh, il y en a parmi nous. Yeah, alors? Hi, Moussa. Yeah, j'ai deux groupes. J'ai créé ce groupe comme ça, il y a deux. J'ai créé un groupe pour mes frères francophones, mes frères camerounais, ivoiriens, sénégalais et tout, pour que les informations que je leur envoie, que ce soit des informations, je vais dire, premium, que je ne peux pas partager ailleurs. En même temps, et ce groupe peut aider les Camerounais, pas les Camerounais seulement, tous les frères de l'Afrique francophone. Mais en même temps, j'ai créé notre groupe pour aider uniquement les gens de l'Afrique anglophone, ou du moins tout autre client qui sont anglophones. OK? Ce qui fait que pour cette réunion, je n'ai pas pu faire deux réunions pour pouvoir faire une dans le groupe des anglophones, une dans les francophones. Donc, j'ai créé ceci, un groupe où j'envoie l'invitation. Donc, du coup, si je veux les anglophones, je vais rester. Musa, can you mute? I think you're not mute yet. Hi, Musa.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Papa Alfred, you have a hands up. Thank you, Papa Alfred. Hello? I see somebody with their hands up. If somebody wants to talk, you can there's a way to hit the link to raise your hands, and then I can give you the microphone. So if Alfred is not speaking, yeah, I'm going to continue. So Musa, this group was created to gather all the information to help people who apply for this program, okay? And every week we have this meeting to bring all the updates and help each other. And this group is also to help people who have questions. Yeah. Mireille.
Yes.
Tu as parlé?
Oui, j'ai parlé. Je m'excuse, je vais mettre mon téléphone là parce que je suis encore au travail et je viens de recevoir quelqu'un. Je m'excuse. Quand je vais parler, je vais vous écouter quoi.
D'accord. Okay. So the goal of this group, like I said, is to help each other to get the answer to his question, because along the way many people have a question. If you have those questions, yeah, you can ask me. But most of the time, the question that you are asking Those answers are in here because in the previous meeting, maybe someone asked the same question. For example, what's the purpose of the money? What are the eligibility? Once I receive the first letter, what do I do? Once I receive the first letter, once I receive the second letter, what do I do? So each step of the way, I have a session in this book where I actually explain what to do if you are already started the process. Now today's meeting is mostly about explaining what to do about the PPP when you have that money. And many people in this group already have the PPP. And many people are going to listen to this live later already have the PPP. The PPP, the EITL is those two different programs. I think we know. And many people in this group also does not even apply for the EITL. And I to them. So after this meeting, they are just going to contact me again. So we can apply for the ELTL, right? But for today, we are specifically talking about the PPP, or better yet, how to make it free. Because the PPP is given to you guys as a loan. It's all the conditions of the loan, all the traditional loan. When you go to the bank to get, they will ask you for financial information, proof of this, proof of that. This is what you have to provide to get the PPP. But once you receive it, there is a way. They even give you term. It's a 60-month term, 1%. But there is a way that to make that money free. And I have 2 videos where I actually started explaining how to make those money free. I'm just what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put a link of those 2 videos over here. The first step of making the money free is what? Is actually trying to create a link, a proof of 3 things. When you receive the money, try to prove 3 things. The first thing is what? The first thing is that you have to have an evidence of the liability. They give you the money to help you with your business. Your business is something that you're doing. I mean, since last year, right? The evidence of any liability. For example, if you pay rent, there should be an evidence of the liability of the rent. The evidence is what? Is, for example, the rent agreement or the lease agreement, or the payment or the invoice that you receive. I know some lender actually send invoice to tenants every month, or maybe 5 days before the end of the month. They actually send them invoice. That's the evidence that you have to pay that money. So you have to use to have a proof of the liability. The proof of the liability is the fact that you receive an invoice from your lender. If you have a garage, if you have a beauty shop, there's a proof that you have to pay rent for that beauty shop. Right? That's the evidence of the liability. So the first thing is to prove the evidence of the liability. The second thing is to actually make a payment. Right? To make a payment, any type of payment works, whether it's a check or direct deposit or wire transfer. It's a proof of payment. Now, the other thing is the exit of the money from where the money was deposited, because I'm talking about the PPP. The money is supposed to be used in your business, right? It's not supposed to be saved. If you want to save it, I'm telling that to you. I won't tell you anywhere. If you want to save the money, whenever you have an evidence of what I just said, I'm just taking one case, your loan. Remove the money, then put it in one place. Then they will see that the money left the place that it was before. Then you can have an evidence of to account for that amount. And I'm going to share with you here an application, a template that I created for my customer to actually track all of those expenses, because it's only when you track those expenses that they can be forgivable. Because when you track them, you know exactly how much was used. That means how much was used for allocated purpose, and then how much could be forgiven. If you don't do that, at the end of the period, is called the coverage period, which is actually 8 weeks or 24 weeks. And I'm advising people to use the 8 period because it's easier to track stuff during 8 weeks than to track them during 24 weeks. 24 weeks, some people just about stuff. And once if you don't track them, you'll be in trouble because you will use all the money. Yes, use all the money. But when it comes to track what was allocated, what was actually supposed to be allocated, you won't be able to get those money forgivable because you didn't track them. Right? The first thing I repeat again is to have an evidence about your liability. If you have, for example, you have your phone bill that you pay. First thing is the contract that you receive from your phone company or the invoice that they send to you. When they send you an invoice, it's an evidence that you have to pay that bill. Now, when you effectively pay the bill, the evidence is that there's somewhere, whether there's a trace, because you need, even though you pay cash, you receive some type of receipt. Even though you pay the money cash, you have to receive the receipt of the money that you have paid for your phone bill. If you pay by transfer, by debit card, that evidence is on your bank account. So the bank account actually shows if the money exits your bank account, right? So this is the point I want to make here, and I made 2 videos to explain all of this. 2 separate videos, the first step and the second step. So now, already on this video, I was actually letting you know, guys, that what are eligible expense to account into the PPP program. Again, I'm going to very quickly remind about the savings to expenses thing. The first thing is yourself. You are your first employee, right? When you are working, you are your own employer. You are your person. Even though you have an employee, you are also your employee because you don't pay yourself in art. You don't pay yourself on the payroll. If you don't pay yourself on payroll, then you are automatically your own employee. So how much do you pay yourself? That money is included in the money that you receive. There is a portion of that money that you should use, right? What do you do? Every week, the amount that the application or the template that I've created will show you. That template will show you how much you should deduct for yourself every week, basically. Maybe you don't know. People will ask you, I'm not going to do the calculation every day or tell you.
They got robots. You see? They go do it, man. They don't weaponize robots.
We actually want to put the amount of money that you receive. The day that you receive the money, it will tell you how much, what is your payment in that money. Whether you receive 2,000 or you receive 7,000, your weekly payment will depend on how much you receive the program. So once you do that, the first payment is that you pay yourself. So every week, try to go to deduct that amount of money in the program. If you receive the money long time ago, then on the program that I'm going to give you, just go there and pick it up for each week. Put that amount. You have to calculate how much you would save that actually eligible amount, right? Forgivable amount. If you use the money to pay to your son, because your son wants to pay for his one, it doesn't count for him. If you take the money and I don't know what to do, go and go pay for the grocery store, it doesn't count. Unless you pay yourself with the money, then you use the money to pay for the grocery store. There's no such expense for grocery store among all the list of expense that counts for the forgiveness. So as you are talking, I'm going to share my screen so I can show you a little bit what I'm talking about. Okay, this is what I was talking about, right? Over here, what you guys have to do is that the money you receive, you're supposed to pay yourself owner compensation. Over here, you pay yourself with the money right here. If you are a company, I'm talking about a corporation. The corporation, on the corporation, some people, there are so many benefit. Wage benefit. The employer goes, you have the commission that you receive. You have sometimes adverse, you have sick payment, you have insurance that is paid by the company. If you have all of this, then account for that. But I'm assuming that people are watching this now are just self-employed or you just have the business or the mostly don't pay all of this. But if you pay all of that, put all the money there. We will actually tell you how much you pay for that. The template system will actually tell you how much you pay for each one. But I'm gonna just focus on you, the owner of the business. And I will also talk about if you have employees, right? So now, if you are owner of the business, assuming that you are a self-employed business or you are LLC, you single member LLC, the amount that you put, these are the expenses. The first one is the payroll cost. The payroll cost is anything that you use to pay yourself or pay employees. The other thing that you can pay for is your mortgage interest. Your mortgage interest, whatever you pay as a mortgage interest every year, is an eligible expense. You have, when I say mortgage, it also counts for rent. Over here is also rent. If you don't own your facility because you rent, then your rent is a business expense, right? So this money can account for mortgage interest, your rent, your credit card payment interest, your electricity, your bill, your internet, your cable, your phone, your transportation. If you don't have a car, then you have to, spend money to get from one point to the other point for your business. So basically, that was the point of this forgiveness thing. The point is that there are a few things that are mostly business related, right? That you can use. But if you are self-employed and you don't have any other office, or your home is also your office, what do you do in this case? Let me go on this sheet over here. If you are self-employed, what do you do? You have to have an estimate of the use of each expense in your business. For example, if you are self-employed, you don't have an office. If you have an office, it's normal. Your rent office is 100% for your business, right? But if you have a house, that is also your business address. You have to specify what percentage of your rents or your house you use it for your business. What does that mean? It basically means you have your house. Your house maybe 5 or 6 rooms. How many rooms do you use for your business? If you have the house that has 5 rooms, then you use 2 rooms for your business. You have a computer in one of the other room, you sit there to do whatever you want to do for your when your home is your business. For example, this home is my business. That means I'm using this home to use on my computer to do business expenses related or business anything that relates to the business, whether it's the research or business or it's the chat or whatever it is. If I use this home, then this home becomes an expense on my business. That means if my home, my apartment, my house has 5 rooms. I'm using one quarter of my everything in my house becomes a business expense, right? So basically, what does that mean? That is, if you don't have a separate location for your business. If you have a separate location for your business, it's easy. You find expense on that location. You just account for it. The electricity bill, the gas bill, the water, the internet, the cable, everything to that equation is just 100% forgivable. Is 100% eligible to be forgiven. Whenever you spend money for that specific expense, that money account for forgiveness, and you have to record those money in this table. When you record those expenses in this table, what will happen? It will just take that expense and bring it here and tell you how much you have already spent on the money that was given to you. So every time that you use the money, you plug them into this, or you have used the money already because you used the money long time ago. The money was already used. Now, when did you use the money? What did you use the money? You have to choose the risk here when you use the money to employ the amount inside, and it will actually collect and do the summation of the money that you have used and tell you how much of that money will be forgivable. When you reach 100%, that means all the money will be forgivable. That means when you start the actual process, the actual application of forgiveness, you can truly there that yes, this is actually what I use, and this is what is left. Because you use all the money doesn't mean all the money will be forgivable. You actually have to allocate the expense of those money to the expense that are eligible. Let's put it like that. If you take the money and go and buy, I don't know what to do, and use for anything, that's not here. Yes, of course you don't have the money, but the money is not be forgivable, right? If the money is forgivable, if you cannot state when you spend the money will still not be forgivable. That's the point I want to stress here. That you have to trace your money. If you spend the money already, okay, when did you spend the money? When did you pay yourself? Over here, I'm paying myself. Let's say it's me, $508 every week, week 1 to week 8. At the end of those weeks, I'm use how much did I give for myself? If I put another 500 here, I have used 4,000. This is the total here. I have used 4,068 to pay myself out of the money that was given to me. How much was the money? This is the money here, 5,000. So I have used 5,000 to pay myself. That means all these 5,000, I can use it for whatever I want to use. Right? You see how it's easy to do whatever you want to use the money, but you not just take the money from scratch into the account and go do what is not supposed to be done with the money. Pay yourself the money first, then take the money and do whatever you want to do that is not listed on this list. I don't know if everybody follow what I'm saying now. If somebody has a question here, you can ask before I continue. Does someone have a question? Hello? Pacom. Hello? I know many people are mute. You can unmute yourself to talk. Pacom, did you have a question for what we have said up to this point? Musa, do you have a question up to this point?
No.
So you get clearly what I'm about, right?
No.
Okay, that's good. So the point I'm making here is that everybody should be able to have the money that you receive, make it free. And if you don't pay attention and you wait at the last day to go and tell the bank, oh, okay, I heard that this money will make you free. It won't be free because you cannot do what you're supposed to do earlier, because you are actually telling him that you did not do nothing and they will not forgive that money for you. You will have to pay the money back. So when you go to the bank, you say, okay, yes, I have to have that money forgiven. They will ask you all of this. When did you spend each dime, each penny of that money? You have to tell them when you spend the money and what you spend the money for. Basically, everybody has to know that. And you don't tell them, oh, you know what? I can send you all the paper and take a bunch of receipt and go at them. Let the person to actually take the receipt to actually look at when you pay money. You have to be able to tell them any time how much money was spent and what was it spent for. And that's the reason why, because it actually helped them to see that, oh yes, the person used all the money, because you have an explicable table that shows them how much was used every single day during the 8-week period or during the 24-week period. So that's the I'm here. we have to actually trace our expense. If you have used the money already, what you have to do is to remember. Of course, you didn't use the money to pay for the new fund. Okay, if you use the money to purchase a new fund, put that new fund expense into your payment. So account for your own payment and use that money that, let's say you use $500 to purchase a fund. Do not come here and say, oh, you know what, you need to account for the $500 fund. No, you cannot account for that because it's not eligible. If you account for that, there is suppose that the 500 is not forgivable and you have to pay the 500 back. But if you say that I pay myself $508, yes, it's eligible. Then you can use the $508 to purchase a fund. That's a good thing. So that's the point I have to make here. And that's the reason why my team and I, we came up with this process. So to make it practical, I'm gonna want someone who is in the PPP already to give me how much he received the PPP, and we will practice that here in front of you for you to see how much is increasing as you are using. You see how much is forgivable, how much is left. For example, look at this one. This person, he has $1 that is not forgivable because it was not allocated to the right thing. But the money is gone. The money you receive is gone. But he still has $1 here. That's actually will become a loan. Right? Because you didn't spend this $1 onto something that was allocated. But the money is over. I don't know if you get my point. Do not just go there to, oh, I don't have no money here. I spent the money. Just need you have, if you can show how you use the money, that shows that the money was actually used for those. Even though you use the money for your personal needs, put all of them into your payment. Tell them I pay myself this amount, this amount, this amount, and then you good. Even though you use the money to purchase, I don't know what you purchase. That was not one of these here. Do not say this here because there will be a way to put that expense here. If you spend the money into doing something else, you have to categorize money into something that is allocatable, that is eligible. So here, I need someone to give me, to tell me how much was this loan.
It's full over there, so you wait for
who am I going to pick? I'm going to pick maybe Musa. Musa, let's pick you. Musa, how much was the money you received?
I'll be real with you. Being in quarantine,
Musa.
a lot. I miss hanging out with friends. I miss going to non-essential businesses.
Yes. How much did you receive for the PPP?
All I've had for company has been
6,747.
How much?
6,747.
It's been a little hard to stay motivated during this
Your loan amount.
But staying home into the point that you have to save people's lives. I guess I'll have to make that sacrifice.
6,747.
747. 6,747.
Mindset and garbage television. I used to think that garbage television was
changed here.
stupid
Here,
and a waste
on
of
this
my
front
moral
amount that you
existence. But as I started watching more garbage, I realized that I've already been fascinated and enjoyed watching garbage content for years. Have you seen the videos
the
I
maximum
make? I
amount
send this to my
you can use to
conspiracy
pay
video
yourself.
that I
That is
love
the
watching
room.
crazy people
You
talk
have
for
to
hours.
do
Now
whatever
take
you
those
have to do
same
with the
people,
money.
give them a camera crew and a
If you
budget,
have
and put a brand new show on
say, okay,
TLC. What's
you
that?
spend that
You've
money
never heard
for
of
anything
TLC,
that
the
was not
Learning
listed
Channel?
here.
Well,
The noise, yeah, nothing, bro.
Over here, you have the room to spend
and that's what schools should be teaching. No,
for
this video
anything
isn't sponsored
that
by
was not listed
TLC,
here.
but if they wanted to sponsor me, I'd say no. I just want to be on an episode of My Strange Addiction.
There's too much noise. I don't know where the noise now.
Yeah, there are too much noise, too much noise.
Let me see. Where's the noise? Okay, if somebody wants to talk, he will unmute himself and talk. So I was saying that out of this money that you receive, 6,747, the maximum you can use to pay yourself is this amount. The table will tell you everything. The non-payroll cost is this amount. That means if anything that you will spend, you have to split them into this amount. If it's not the payment for yourself, it means what? It means your yearly net income was more or less this amount here. This is why we calculate it. So the payroll cost of this amount, your payroll cost is actually 581. So basically what you're going to do is what? We're going to calculate how much money you will use. Let's say you are self-employer. I'm going to the base that you are self-employer. If you are self-employer, you have no employees. The money you will use here will be this amount here, 6,000. Because how do they calculate? How do they came up with this amount here? Payroll cost, yeah. Okay, net income. You have to recalculate your net income here. Give me 1 second to figure out this net income here. Yeah, what we can see here, what do we have here? Let me open this room again. Okay, what do we have here? Musa, are you still watching? Yes, I guess you're watching. So basically over here, with this loan amount that you receive, this table is telling you how much you can pay yourself for. You can pay yourself for up to $4,060. Then you can use non-payroll costs, which is actually what we listed down here. And now, what can you pay yourself for? You have the average payment, the average payroll cost is this amount here. This is the average payroll cost that you have here. It means basically every month you are paying yourself this amount because your yearly net income was over here, this amount. So it tells you that your weekly payroll cost will be $623. So you have to pay yourself. So the payroll cost in your money you receive should be up to $628 that you're gonna have to spend every week. If I come here, over here, let me go to this sheet here, okay? And we do the same thing basically here. The loan amount. What was the loan amount? The loan amount here was you said 5,000 and 6,000, 6747. 6747. This is the loan amount you receive. You see, it's telling you your owner compensation right away. So you have to use $628 every single week to pay yourself. That's your owner compensation. What do you do here? You put the date. When was the date that you received the money? Do you remember when you received the money? The date? Let's say. Yes.
No, I got money there. I'll check on my bank statement.
Okay. Let's say you receive the money on May. Let's say May 21, 2020. What is happening? The system is actually showing you every single week, the 8-week period that you have. So it shows you here every week that what you have to use. And the owner compensation here is what? It's basically this amount here that you receive. So every week, how much do you pay yourself? You come here week 1, you pay yourself $623. The next week, you do the same thing, $628, even though it's past already because you didn't receive the money today. You received the money a couple of weeks ago, maybe months ago. Just go to each week, account for the money that you receive, 623. Put the money here for each week, 623. 623. 623. 623. Okay, 623. Okay. How much is it? It's giving you $4,984. Yes. Now for the mortgage, you have the place of the business. The first week, let's say the first week you receive the money, it was on the 21st. Okay, you didn't pay the money on that day because it's not the end of the month. Now on the second week, 28th, you still didn't pay mortgage interest because you pay at the end, you pay after the end of the month. On June 6, June 4, yes, that is when we actually pay for rent. How much did you pay for rent for that period? Right? If your rent, your rent office, how much is your shop? How much you pay for your rent in the shop, Musa?
Yeah, I pay 2,500.
2,500.
Yeah.
2,500. That's why you pay every month on your shop. It means that the portion of the money that was allocatable to the non-expense is actually totally used, because over here, if you take $5,000 and you add 2,000 to it, 2,007, oh yeah, maybe we still have something left. We still have something left. Okay, let's just pass it here. And when you receive the money, do you pay electricity on your shop, right?
No.
You don't pay electricity. You don't pay nothing else on the shop.
No, everything included in the rent.
Everything is in the rent. Do you pay internet on the shop?
Yes, I pay internet on the shop.
Okay, how much do you pay internet?
I pay $220 every month.
$220 every month. Let's go to internet. Let's remove all of this because you don't pay electricity, you don't pay gas. It's included. Let's remove this this credit card debt. Let's remove it. Let's talk about what is really easy to see. The internet. The internet here, you pay how much? 250?
220.
220?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm assuming that if let's say you pay that money the week that starts on June 4, I'm just assuming it because it's not even the right date here. You're going to use the right date when you get this spreadsheet, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say you pay your internet on the month of June, the week of June 4. You pay 250, right?
Yeah.
You pay 250, and then the second week you didn't pay for it, and then on the week 12 here, week of this July 2nd, you also pay another 250. You see, it's still within the period. That means let's remove the water here because you didn't pay water, right? Let's remove the transportation. You didn't pay for transportation. Now, how much did you spend so far? Over here, the total expense here is $7,984. That is actually what you spend for what we put here. We only account for your owner compensation. We account for your rents. This is mortgage interest. It's also rents, right? If you have the rent, you can just change here and put rent instead. What's going on here? This computer is frozen.
I don't see you.
You don't see me, right?
No, I don't see you.
What?
I think the computer is frozen.
I only hear you, but I can't see you.
I think the computer, I'm having issue with the computer, is frozen, it's freezing. Okay, I think it's back.
Okay.
Can you see me?
No, I can't see you. I can hear you.
Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen I'm sharing?
No, I don't see it, but I only hear you.
Okay, can anybody else see my screen? Hello?
Yeah, I don't see the screen share.
No, I'm talking about other people. I don't know if other people can see my screen or can see me. Alfred, Jean Bernard, whoever is there, Innocent. Can you see me? Can you guys actually still see me? Can everybody hear me here? I don't know what's going on here. Can you guys hear me or see me?
For me, I can hear you clear, but I don't see it. That's the problem.
Can you guys unmute yourself and let me know if you can see me? Let me stop sharing. I don't know. I really don't know what's happening here.
Try to refresh your computer one more time. Put it back on. Let's see. I can hear you, but I don't see it. I don't think them other person hear you.
But I want to know. I'm still have so many people connected. I want to know if the other people can see me. Can actually see me.
I don't think they can hear you either because you're talking and nobody going. I don't know.
But why? Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think everything is working fine now. Yes. What we're going to do here, I was telling you guys that so far your loan amount, your loan amount is 6,700. Your owner compensation weekly is 600. That means so far over here you paid yourself 4,900, right? So far over here you paid yourself 5,900. But you pay you spend like almost 8,000 here. The point I'm gonna make is very important. You spend 8,000 and the money they gave you was only 6,000. Someone will think that, oh, okay, automatically this money is forgivable because I already spent almost 8,000. They only give me 6,000, right? I'm going to who is not mute yet? Jean. Okay, bonjour, Princesse Banjon.
Bonjour, Tonton Roussel.
Welcome.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm late.
No, it's okay. You're still in the meeting. So basically, there's noise coming from somewhere. I'm trying to mute other people. If somebody wants to talk, you just unmute yourself and talk. Let me see where we want. Okay, so I was saying that over here, a lot of people will receive the money, but they will not know that's what to do to make the money forgivable. And the money, they will be surprised that we will tell them that you owe me, okay, you receive $2,000 or $5,000, and then the monthly payment will be this amount. They'll be like, yes, I want it to be forgivable. It's not with the mouth that you tell us that. You have to show that any type of documentation that, yes, I spend the money to do what you told me to do. Yes, this is what, and you track those expenses for the loan officer, because it goes through the bank. You receive the PPP through the bank, not through the government, not through the SBA. You receive money through the bank. So it's also with the bank to actually review your forgiveness and say, yes, I see that you spend them, you finish the money, and you spend the money on things that are eligible to be forgivable. Over here, this specific case, this person here has $7,000, $7,984. But let's go and check if this money will actually going to be forgivable or not. Or I have to say here that your percentage of the home business, of your home use of your house is 1, because it's actually your home address. It's actually your business address. It's not your home. I mean, your business address, if you are using your home, then you will put a percentage here. Let's say your business, you're using your house, maybe you're using 2/4 or 1/3 of your house for your business. Then this will be 1/3 over here, right? 1/3% of your house will be what you think you should use for your business. Or you can say 20%. 20% of your house is used for your business. 20% is also 0 times what? 0 times 2. You do whatever you want to do here. It's up to you. If you think that you use half of your house for your business, then you can put 0.5 here. Everything there is up to you. But over here is going to be 1, because your house is not even the house. The person we are using here as a separate office. Separate office from his house. That's the reason why we accounted for rents over here. It's not mortgage, it's rent. So we accounted for rent because he pays $22,500 every month. We can even account for this portion too. Let's say over here, okay, can you guys see the screen? I'm assuming yes. So over here, let's say that this person also paid another rent here. Another rent on which month? He paid on the 6th, and then he also paid on July 2nd, another $2,500 for rent. Look at how much he spent. He already spent $10,000, right?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, Musa, can you see?
Yeah, I can see. Well, can you send the app on my wife phone? My phone about to die, man.
What happened?
Outside, please. My phone is running out of current. Can you send the app on my wife phone so I can connect it to you quick?
Okay, send me the text message on WhatsApp.
Okay, I'll send it now.
Send me a text message on WhatsApp so I can send you the link.
Okay,
the link
all right, do that now.
Yeah, do it now. Okay, I'm going to continue, even though he's going to change the font, right? I'm going to continue. And over here, he spent already 10,000. He spent 10,000. But how much of this money is forgivable? Let's go down to this spreadsheet here. You have 2 spreadsheets. Over here, you account basically blindly. You just put your expenses here. If you pay for electricity, just put the amount here. How much you pay for electricity? Just put the amount here, $22,000 or $250 every month. And when did you pay for your gas? When did you pay for your internet? Over here, if you pay for your phone, let's say you pay for internet this month, then the 7th week you pay for your maybe cable, right? The cable is separate for your internet. And then the next week you pay for your maybe a phone bill. The phone bill is different for your internet because you have 2 different companies. Whenever you spend the money for, just put the money inside. I see somebody here asking to get into the thing. Okay. Oh. Okay, if you're not going to be able to do it. Yes, give me 1 second. I don't even know where I was. Where's the link to connect? Oh yeah, the screen is shared, so I just have to go back to where I was working on. Okay, yes, this is where I was working. So basically, we need to go here to see how much is forgivable. How much is forgivable here will be, this is what will be forgivable. $623, 23, 623, 23, 23. Okay, we spent $4,989 for to pay himself. What else did you spend to pay himself? He spent mortgage interest on the week 3. Week 3, he spent $2,500 for mortgage interest. Let's go here and go to mortgage or rent. This one, mortgage or rent. It was this week. On this week, somebody is asking to get inside the meeting. Okay, you can see that on this week here, this person paid on week 3, he paid $2,500. On week 7, he paid another $2,500, right? At the end, how much did he spend? I mean, I forget. On this other week here, the same week, he also spent $250 on cable or internet. Over here, he also spent $250 on cable. This is the week 7, right? So at the end of the 8-week period here, 8-week period, how much did the person spend? The person spent $500 on internet, cable, and phone, right? The person spent $5,000 on what? On mortgage interest after the 8-week period. The person also spent $4,000 here on what? On his own owner compensation. So how much did he spend in total? He spent $10,000 in total. But how much is forgivable? Let's go here and check. This is the maximum forgiveness amount the person will receive. You see the point I'm trying to make here? He spent, like, for the 8-week period here, he spent $10,000 already. Of course, because he also had money into his bank account before they put the money inside. What will happen here? What will happen is that they will only consider what you put here and what is within the range. You account for everything here, but you will only be eligible for $76. You know why? Because, yes, he used 25% of his money. This is 25% basically of the money that he received. This is 25% of the money he received. This is 75%. This is 25%. So he didn't use up to 75% on the payment of himself. That's the reason why we still have something left. But he used the whole 25%, right? You're supposed to use on maximum for non-payroll costs up to $1,687. If you count for all the non-payroll costs, and we see that you have spent up to $1,688, then you're good. This portion will be forgiven completely. That's the reason why you see here non-payroll costs forgiveness reduction is 0. Why? Because he spent up to $1,687 on non-payroll costs. And we can see here, F is far more than 1,600 because the rent only is this amount, right? Only the rent is already more than that. All of these are almost more than that. So, but on the payrolls area, he didn't use the whole $75 to pay himself on the payroll cost. That's the reason why we still have payroll cost forgiveness reduction. I mean, he didn't account for it, right? He didn't account for it, but he put everything here. So what's happening here? Give me 1 second. I'm going to put him back inside I'm talking about Musa, the person who has this case. This is a case study. I need to add him in the meeting. He gave me a new number to add him to the meeting from that new number. I guess Musa is back to the meeting. It's not even, anyway, we connect from a different phone. So basically what I was saying here is that you have to input all your information inside this table to know exactly how much you will be forgivable and how much you will not be forgivable. Now, what I'm going to do with Musa here is to move him to go to the 8 weeks period, to the 24 weeks period, 24 weeks period, right? Yeah, because the program initially was 8-week period. Now we extended the 8-week period because we saw that when you apply the formula here to have people claiming their income, after 8 weeks, some people were not able to claim all the 100% of their forgiveness. So next week we are going to develop in case we have to move from the 8-week period to the 24-week period. On the 24-week period, it has more room to claim more expenses. I mean, more payroll, because the point here is to claim all your payroll. Because your expenses, it will be easy for you. The more weeks you have, the more expense you can claim on the non-payroll side, right? So, but they give you specific percentage to claim your payroll compensation. If during the first period, you're not able to claim the 100% of the payroll amount that is allocated to you, then you have to move from the 8-week period to the 24-week period. But I'm advising everyone to use the 8-week because it's easier. Look, this is only 8 weeks here. The 24-week period that we are going to develop next week, we actually go to 24. Look, this is week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 8, week 8. You have to go week 9, week 10, up to week 24. That is more work to you. So I'm advising everyone to use this. The first formula, that was 75 and 25. So use the 75, 25. If you see that you didn't claim all your payroll expense, because most likely you will claim all the non-payroll expense because there are a lot, right? You pay rent, you pay electricity, you pay, phone bill, you pay internet. Yes, most likely you see over here, we spend more than 3,000, more than almost 5,000 on the non-payroll costs, but it only has how much? 1,600. That means he will always spend a lot of money on non-payroll costs. I mean, non-payroll costs that are allocatable, that are allowable. But the payroll costs, that is where you have to focus. If you see that you didn't spend everything, so I just plug all the numbers here. I plug all the numbers here, but it ends up that he still have $76 that is not forgivable. If he wants to go with that, it's okay. Then we will apply the forgiveness knowing that $76 will not be forgivable. That means he will actually owe $76. And when you show this to your loan officer, he actually knows because he can see every single step along the way, right? To facilitate the thing. If you don't show him everything, you don't show nothing, then he will assume that 100% of the money is not forgivable. Then you will owe this money right here. Do you want to owe 6,700 or do you want to owe, let's say you want to keep the 8-week periods. Do you want to owe 6,700 or do you want to owe only $76? Of course, the $76 will be much better because you are telling him what you have done with the money and he can see everything here, right? That's what the loan officer wants. The loan officer is not working for you to start thinking about how much you spend the money, how you know, you're not thinking about it. We have millions of people who use the money. And among them, maybe millions will need the money to be forgivable, right? So they will not start thinking about, okay, can you explain me how you use the money? Say yes. Oh, I spent all the money on my payroll costs. Oh, I spent all the money on rent, whatever it is. It doesn't go like that. So if you don't have any specific details like this, make sure you guarantee that they will usually be surprised that they send you the mail or email that you owe this amount of money, and you'll be surprised. So that's the only condition. To me, it's not a difficult condition. If you give me, a car, give me an SUV car and say, oh, use this SUV car to take your kid to school, use this SUV car to go to work. The thing you're supposed to do, right? Right. Because even though you don't receive this money, you still have to pay yourself. You pay yourself because when you are using the money, you spend the money. That means you are paying yourself with your own money. You will still have to pay for your rent. You will still have to pay for your electricity, for your phone. You still have to pay for everything. Just like I give you the car, say use the car for this one. And tell me that you have used it for it. That's it. And the car is free for you. If you don't use it like that, then I will sell you the car. You have to give me my car back or pay the money that I spent to pay the car. That's basically what's happening here. They just want you to show them. The government put the money there and to help people, but they just want you and just type of accountability of what you have done with the money. They don't want you to come and sit in front of them and say yes and get an interview with them to let them know that yes, you effectively use the money for what they've done. They don't want to do that. They work with the paper. Remember, we didn't talk to someone to have the money, right? We didn't even have an interview with no one to get the money. So it will work the same way. If we just submit all this information to tell them this is what I've done with the money, that's it. But if you don't submit nothing, let's say have you received the money without actually me or you yourself actually do the process online? No. Did you talk to someone? No. So this is the only thing that we want you guys to do, to show them how you spend the money. And the simple thing is here. This table right here tells you exactly how much you spend the money. But this table itself, this page doesn't show you how much will be forgivable, right? When you plug the information here, the table, that's why I've been giving to all my clients, because I have clients who receive the money in the month of May. When you receive the money in May, it means what? On June or mid-June, you finish with the money. So this is what my clients have been using to actually track their forgiveness and know exactly how much will be forgivable, or whether or not if there is something that will be forgivable. If you took the money, you didn't use the money, then 100% will be a loan, because you didn't account somewhere that you use the money. The money, I said in the beginning, you have to say that you use the money for this thing, and you have to record them sometimes. Some company even start a new accounting system. That means it create a new accounting system only to account for all these expenses. I'm talking about company receive $50,000, $100,000, $500,000. They're not going to just stay there and go tell the government that they use the money for business. No, they create a new set of accounting because they have so many invoices that comes every day. So we have to actually create a new set of bookkeeping for them to account for specifically the PPP money, because they want the money to be free. And if you are a self-employer or you only have 1 or 2 employees, it's even easier for you, right? So I don't know if you guys, if somebody has a question from everything that we have explained to so far. If someone has a question, he can just unmute himself and start talking. I don't know if Alfred still inside. Alfred, do you have a question?
Sure.
Yes.
Sir, I want just to know what about those, what about those who get the PPP after they get unemployment? Because unemployment.
I can hear you, Alfred.
Yeah, you know that before some people receive the PPP loan,
yes,
they already have an unemployment assistance.
Yes.
So how do you combine those to justify that there's no overlapping of money in the same account?
Okay. The thing is that when you show your bank account or proof of exit of the PPP money is to justify the PPP money. It's not to justify the unemployment money. They don't even ask if you have unemployment or no. They're giving you the money because of your self-employment position, because you have a business, or because because you have a business, because you have a Schedule C, or you have a 1065 application, because you were eligible to get it. It's a loan. That means nobody should pay that money back. It's just that they give you an option actually to make that money free for your business, right? Your unemployment is basically for your own personal expense, right? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, unemployment is normally for your own personal expense, but the PPP is for your business. If you have a shop that you are still paying every month, I mean, with the COVID-19, you still have to pay the rent, your warehouse rent, right? Can the unemployment you're receiving pay that warehouse rent? I don't think so.
It's breaking up.
Hello?
It's breaking up.
Okay, I was saying that if you let's say you have a beauty shop, or you have an African market somewhere. I have so many people with so many businesses. If you are receiving unemployment because you are home, are you still paying those expenses? Are you still not paying the internet or the office or the supermarket rent? If you have a mortgage, you still paying the mortgage on that office, right?
Sure.
Yes. Then the money you receive from the PPP actually helps you to do all of those things. You see the point here?
Yes. So how if you receive the money,
yeah,
and invest it in a completely different business?
Okay, that's a great question, right? That's a great question that you have, because a lot of people receive the money and do other things. That's the reason why I want us to come here and ask questions. For the PPP purpose, for the PPP, remember, what you can do, what you have to do is that you link all your incompressible expense. Those are your rents, those are your electricity, those are your phone bill. In fact, you link the non-payroll expense to the PPP, right? Because you still have to pay them anyway. Even though you want to use different business, you still have to pay for your rents or for your utility, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to use your own money to pay for utility and then use a portion of the money? Let's say your investment on a different business is $200. I'm taking a very simple numbers. because I want to match the $200 to your phone bill. Your phone bill is $200, and you are approved for $200. Are you going to use the $200 that you are approved on a different business and use your own money to pay for your phone bill? No, you use your own money on the different business because you're gonna use the PPP money to pay your phone bill. You see the difference? Yes, that's what you do. Now you have a room to do whatever you want to do with the PPP. That room is 75% of the money that you're supposed to pay yourself. So go there, account for 75%. Use whatever you want to do with the 75% of the money. Now you don't have to justify nothing. Right. You see how the answer is coming?
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, there was no place to park there.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. So basically what you do is that 75%, let's say you have 10,000. 75% is 7,500. You can do whatever you want to do with it because you're gonna use the money for yourself. Once you pay yourself with the money, then you go and establish a new business. They don't care because you pay whenever you pay yourself. When you are working somewhere and they pay you, do they tell you what to do with the money they pay you? No. On the PPP, it's a paycheck protection program. Pay yourself with the money that they give to your business, and then the money that you receive, do whatever you want to do with it. Now, if it's not enough, go to the portion of the non-payroll expense. Instead of using your own money, let's say you want to use 10,000 for your business. I already told you how to use 7,500, right? You still have 2,500. Okay, anytime you're going to pay for your rent, maybe your rent is 2,500. That's it.
Okay.
Instead of using your own money to pay for your rents, use the PPP money to pay for your rents, and then use those $20,000 to pay to invest in your new business, right? You just need to account to show these details here, to say that I was using the money for the way you send it from you. But in fact, you can do whatever you want to do with the money. That's the reason I say that no one should even think about this, because whether they give you this, they approve you or no, you still have to incur and pay all these expenses. By the way, you still have to pay those expenses. Whether they approve you or no, you still have to pay for your rents. You still have to pay for your business rents. If you are renting a different location, a different property for your business, or even if you own the property, you still have to pay mortgage on it. You still have to pay electricity on it. You still have to pay internet, phone bill, all of those. You still have to pay transportation if you don't have a car. You still have to spend money to move from your house to your business, place of business. And if you have employees, normally you still have to pay your employees if you didn't fire them. So what about, yes, if you didn't get the money, you still have to pay for your employees. Let's say those people who have restaurants, the people in restaurants, some people were working inside with some employees, right? If there's no place to come in, they were doing like, you just open the people. So they want people inside. So if you stay people long, you are still paying those employees. Whereas the PPP loan is actually used to help you to pay those employees. Right?
Okay.
Yes. Any other questions?
Yeah, I'm not done yet.
Yes.
Just imagine that someone applied for that PPP, I got approved. Until now, haven't get the money in his bank account when she was approved. So what the next step you should? I mean,
if somebody applies and the person was approved, but he never actually received the money in the bank account, that's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Yes. If you are approved, the money will actually come to your bank account, because when it's approved, it's actually disposed. Just that the bank might just need some verification in order to issue the money. If it's approved, Normally, you go into the system, you will see that, or maybe they want you to sign the loan document. If you are poor, you still have to sign the loan document. That says
The loan
that
document was signed. The loan document was signed.
then we can even call. We can call to say, oh, because when you sign the loan document, it should take a few days. They normally say 5 to
Hello.
so
Hello.
it's normally 5.
It's up. Break it up. Break it. Hear you.
Hello? Yes, Alfred, do you have any other question?
Hello,
Yes, yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tonton
Hello.
Athanas, tu es en retard.
Hello.
Tonton Athanas, la réunion est finie.
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Alfred, do you still have something? Other question? No, you mute. You have to unmute yourself.
I think I got everything. Yeah.
You got everything?
Sure.
Okay, Musa, can you unmute yourself?
Hello, Rosa.
Okay, yeah. Yes.
Musa, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, this is your case here. This is your case that this is your case study here.
Yeah.
Or what you put here, because this is what you got to use. Loan disbursement control. This control your loan disbursement, the money they give you. You receive 6,745 for the PPP. This is a PPP. I have to remind people who just got here that I'm explaining to people how to track and know exactly how much will be. Let me see. Yes, I'm explaining here to people who receive the PPP or who apply and still waiting for the PPP to land to the bank account when they were approved and stuff. To know exactly how to make the money that they will receive free, right? The PPP is the money they give it to you as a loan. They give it to you as a loan, but the law, that same law that gives the money as a loan, also say that the loan could be forgivable, right? So why not make it forgivable, right? But you don't make it forgivable and say, okay, I need it to be forgivable. No, it doesn't work like that. Because the law also tells you how to actually show me what you have done with the money. And that is not something difficult to do. Just to track any single penny that you have used on the money, and then we tell you how much was forgivable. Just like that. That is like I gave you $1,000. I said, go and spend the money. You go and spend the money, you come back, you say, how much, what did you do with the money? You say, I've done this. I say, no. I know what, after the 1,000, only 300 will be forgivable. Then you owe me $700. But they also actually tell you where to use the money for. So if you want to use the money for a different thing, you have to ask the person who assists you in getting the money, right? If you just go there and you got the money inside, you just go and use it, you'll be surprised that they will tell you that you owe 100% of the money you receive. That is going to be a big disappointment.
Okay.
Right? So basically over here, what I'm doing here is to explain how to make that money free. Making the money free just means that you use the money, you track the money, you know exactly how much you have used the money for and how much the money will be forgivable. That's basically what we are doing here. I have said that over here, you're just going to enter the loan amount here. You enter the loan amount here. It will tell you how much you should pay yourself, because out of the money, there is a two table, there's a two law, there's a two system. There's a one is 2075, 25. That means you spend $75, 75% of the money on yourself. That means you use the money to pay yourself, right? And you use 25% of the money to pay non-payable compensation. And everything here is the non-payroll compensation. Let me mute other people and mute other people where the noise is coming from. So, so basically, from here all the way to the end, all of these are what is called non-payroll compensation, right? Non-payroll compensation. If over here, if you have used whatever amount you use to pay for your rents, pay for your mortgage interest, pay for your debt, the credit card debt that you have. Wow, I forgot that one. Look, this is interest on credit card debt. How much you pay for credit card every month? A lot. I talked to someone who say he pay around $80 credit card interest every month. How much you pay for electricity and gas? How much you pay for water? How much you pay for internet? All of this money, how much you pay for transportation to go to work? That's why you don't have a car. So those are non-payroll costs, right? And if you use your house for business, that's just a reminder for those people who came late. How much, if you have a separate place of business, then the rents, 100% of this is a rent and a rent expense. But if you don't have a separate place of business, you have your house, you have to say that, okay, I'm using 25% of my house for my business, because on all the documents, your house is your business address, but your house is also your personal place of living. You live there. You use it for personal matter. You live with your children, you watch TV, you do things that are not business related. That means there's a percentage of usage. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What's up? Who is there?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Mira, on your line. We can hear you.
Oh, I saw you called it for me, and then I was trying to answer her call. Thank you.
Okay. So basically, if you are using your house for your business, you have to decide. That's you. I'm not in the house with you. How much do you think you are using your house for your business? Is it 25%? Is it 30%? If it's 30, you put 30 here. That means every single amount that you put here for rents, the system will account only 30% as a business expense. Right? Look at the difference here. I put 30% here. Let's go to the table and see. You see here, the money here, it changed. It used to be that it was 25, it was 2,500 here, because I put 100% over there. Now I put 30%. It only accounts for 75%, $750 instead of $2,500. I want you to understand this. He's still paying $2,500 monthly, but the $2,500 monthly doesn't account as an eligible amount in this tracking of the money because he puts 30% as the usage of his house. Let's say I put here 40%. Let's say I use 40% of my house for my business. What will happen? Look, this is how much you paid. You don't change nothing here. And look, this is how much you pay here for internet. Look at here, over here. Look at what changed. Now it's what? 1,000. 1,000 is 40% of 2,500, right? And look at the internet portion. He pays internet in the house, but he used 30%, right, or 40% of the internet for his business. That's why the system only accounts for $100 instead of $250, which is actually what he pays. That means, it means what? It means that out of the money you receive, even though you pay 250% for internet, the system, the program doesn't recognize the $250. The program will only account for 100. That's the reason why what you spend here is not what will be forgivable. It's what is trapped here in this other sheet. That is actually how much will be forgivable. That's the point I'm trying to make here. So you just plug all the data here. Whatever you spend, just plug the money in here, and the system will do everything for you. If you are using 100% because you have a separate place of business, just put 100 here. That's it. And then when you come back here, you see, you put the 100% of the money you spend because you have separate place for business. So does anyone has another question so far?
Yeah, Rosal.
Yes.
The app, this program, how can we get that? Because I'm trying to go ahead and do my own paperwork for this.
Yes. Yes. All of you guys, you have go to the group. I'm going to post the link to get in the group that are created specifically for PPP and sorry, I don't know who is this speaking. Yes, I guess it's you. Okay, I'm going to post it in the group because to get this, you have to actually subscribe to get this program here and download it into your computer or your phone and just try to fill this out according to how you think you use the money, right? Yes, this is basically what you guys have to do. And yes, this is what my customer have been using. And I decided, okay, we can do the same thing with the other people. So, okay, Musa, is Musa here?
Yes.
Okay, Musa, you left when I was explaining how much you will owe or how much you will be forgivable for your case. And if somebody wants, okay, you're gonna take a time, we don't have time, you're already more than 2 hours over. So over here, this is the money that you receive. This is the average for, payroll cost that you get. This is the maximum amount, the payroll limit, okay? How much you can pay yourself. You can pay yourself out of this money here. Pay yourself means you receive the money for yourself. Just withdraw the money. If you want to, you withdraw it, you keep it in your pocket, or you put it in a different bank account. Or if you want to, after 2 days, go put it back in the same account. They just want to see that you are paying yourself, that you remove the money to pay yourself, that the money left to pay yourself. So, and then you have non-payroll costs. The non-payroll costs over here. So when we plug all the numbers that you gave me, it says that you spend up to maybe 10,000. But look at what was forgivable. Your total amount, the total amount on the owner compensation, which is you, is 4,900. How much was the payroll, the limit that you should use to pay yourself? The limit was what? It was 5,000. That's the reason why you see here is saying the loan forgiveness amount. The loan amount after forgiveness is $76. Why? Because on the non-payroll costs, you spend all the money. You spend more than what you are even allocated to, because that means you use your own money to pay for all some of the non-payroll costs. But the payroll cost for the 8-week period, when you pay yourself this amount every week, you only spend 4,900. When you compare the $5,060, you compare it with the 4,984, that is $76 left. That was not used. You see, payroll cost forgiveness reduction, this amount. So what you're going to do is what? Is to move to the next rules. There are 2 rules. This first rules was a rules of 8 weeks period, and it was 75, and 25. You spend 75% on your payroll, and you spend 25 on non-payroll costs. But when you do that here, you are not able to claim all your payroll costs. That is $76. So what you're going to do, you are going to apply the second rules, which is 24 weeks periods. And that second rules will actually use a new set. The new rule will be 60/40. That means you have to use 60% of your money, right? 60% of your the money to pay yourself, not 75% like here. You will use 60%. You can see it's easy to do, right? Because 60%, this money is already 70%. That means if you use 60%, it's good because 60% is included in 75%, right? Yes, 60% is included in 75%. So you didn't reach, when you account for all the payroll every week, we didn't reach the 75%, this amount. But on the new rules, you will even pass the 60%. That will be good for you. But the only difference is that it's 24 months week. I mean 24 weeks. That's the reason why I always advise people to start with this one, because it's easier to track expenses for 4 weeks, for 8 weeks, than to track them for 24 weeks, right? Yes. So what I'm going to do next week, Musa, I'm going to implement the same thing for the 24 weeks for you to see if you want to go through it to get the whole amount forgivable. Or if you think like 24 weeks is too much, you know what? I'm just going to do the forgiveness, even though I owe $76 is not too bad. So it's up to you, right?
Okay.
Yes.
And I got a question, right?
Yes.
All right. What about now? Because my payroll is like you said, so the paper said I got 600 and some change a week, but now I'm paying myself more than that. So do I have to reduce it again or what?
No. It doesn't matter how much you are paying yourself. They are saying that for this specific program, every week, go there and remove something. Remove this money every week. Okay? Just go there every week and remove this amount. Assume that every week you are moving this amount. It doesn't matter how much you pay yourself every week, because you know what? They didn't want to assume how much you pay yourself now. This calculation comes from last year, from 2019, because some people will just see that, okay, they don't have no more expenses. They're just gonna increase their payroll and say, yes, I used all the money to pay myself. You cannot, or if you pay yourself less, it's not good, because it's not going to reach out the money. So they are just use the calculation that they use to give you the money. So you have to account for this amount every week. You just pull it down. and then you see how much is left. If everything is gone off up to 75%, if everything is not up to 75%, then you will switch to the 24 weeks period. 24 weeks will give you more room. That was an extension of the law. It wasn't the initial law. I think that law was voted on July 8th, I believe. So it was voted to extend this because so many companies were not able to spend 75% on their payroll costs. Why? Because so many employees left the company. If some employee left the company, then you're not going to be able to reach the 75% because they are on the unemployment. They are receiving more money than what you were paying them. So many companies were not able to still spend the 75% because some business left. And if you don't spend up to that, then you owe the government. That's the reason why they extended to 24 period. So you're going to see what is more advantageous to you. You're going to probably going to choose the other one. The other one that I'm going to explain next week. So next Friday, next Sunday, at the same time, 2:40, 2:20, we are going to develop the 24-week pay because nobody knows until you plug your number in to know if you should pick one or move to the next one. Okay?
Okay, Rosa.
Okay.
Rosa.
Yes.
Yeah, I have one more question.
Yes.
Just imagine that you receive the money and then you are not aware that you're going to use 75% to pay yourself, and then you spend all the money. That take you into account the 75%. Now, how are you going to deal with this?
You mean
because you spend all the money, you're not taking out the 75%.
You spend all the money to do what?
On expenses, buying stuff, buying this and that, and
Okay.
you never take withdraw money, keep it.
But in order to use that money, you withdraw the money, right? To do whatever you want to do. Huh? In order to do what is not an eligible expense.
It's breaking.
Okay, in order to use that money for what is not an eligible expense, maybe you had to withdraw the money to purchase goods, right?
I can't hear you, it's breaking up.
Okay, I'm saying that in order to use the money for non-expenses, not eligible expenses, you had to withdraw the money and then use them, right? Yes. Whenever you withdraw the money, just put the date here as if you were paying yourself. Because you have the room up to 75% to pay yourself. Whenever you pay yourself with the money, use whatever you want to do with the money. It's not a problem.
Okay. Yes. One quick question: if you use that to send the money to someone, is that considered as a withdrawal for yourself or not?
No. Remember. If you use Zelle to transfer money to someone, let's say it's $100, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, if you want to account that as the payment of yourself, just withdraw the same $100 and account the $100 you have withdrawn as your payment, and then you can go back and put it back in your bank account.
Okay.
You see the point? The point is that just whatever you have used the money for, if you use for something that is not eligible, allocate money, just withdraw the same money. Because let's say that, of course, before they put the money into your bank account, you have your own money, right? You have your own money in your bank account. Yes. So let's say you remove 3,000 to do something that is not allocatable. Just start collecting 3,000 from that same bank account and say that is your own payment. And keep it somewhere, and then you can put it back in your bank account. They just want to start to pay yourself with the money. And do not say, oh, as I used $3,000 to purchase a new iPhone. No, do not say the 2,000 was used for purchase iPhone. You say that the 2,000 was to pay myself because you actually withdraw the money, right? You can actually put it there, then you got the money. If you pay it by transfer, try to create some type of expenses, some type of withdrawal from your account to the cash. And then you can keep the cash, or later on, you can still put it inside because they know that you're still making business. They know you're still having some type of different source of income, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's not the only money in your bank account, but in order to have that portion of money forgivable, you have to tell them, hey, this is what I've done with the money. This is what I've done with the money, right? Yeah, so that is basically how you guys have to do. Otherwise, many people will be surprised and say, oh, that was that. No.
Bruce,
Yes.
I have a question. There's any time frame to do all those transactions?
I said at the beginning, you have 8 weeks from the time you receive the money to 8 weeks to do what? 8 weeks to account for all the expenses, right? You have 8 weeks. After the 8 weeks, you have to do this during the 8 weeks. Or if you don't do during the 8 weeks, after the 8 weeks, you still have to plug all the information in this spreadsheet that will actually tell you how much will be forgivable. That's the point. You have
so
to
maybe
know.
I was late in the meeting. But I want to know when I have all evidence for the expense, where should I submit that?
Okay,
I don't know if
now you contact the bank or the person who help you to apply. Some people got this money directly from the bank because they have a account with Bank of America or Wells Fargo. That's the way you got the money. You have to go back to Bank of America or Wells Fargo and tell them what's the process. If you receive it
with evidence or just verbally or with evidence of expense.
No, with the evidence of the expense, of course. I said at the beginning, maybe you're gonna somebody told you were late.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Nobody told you were late. You actually have to, there's some type of evidence. For the rents, you have to have the evidence of the rents, which is the lease or the rent receipt. When you pay for rent, you have the rent receipt, right? When you pay for internet, you have, even online, you can download them. When you pay for this, you have all the evidence. There's nothing that you do that you pay that, even though you pay cash. There are some people who pay their phone bill cash. Just ask the person from which you pay your phone. Please, I need evidence of the payment, right? And whenever you have all of that, anytime after the 8-week period, you can now contact the bank or contact a CPA like us, the people who actually help you, assist you to do it.
Okay, I understand.
Of course, even though I didn't assist you to do it, I can still assist you now to actually do the forgiveness process. But you don't do the forgiveness process if you don't have this information ready. Because it's not like you find your taxes, you go to your tax preparer, you say, you know, put everything you want to put there. No, it doesn't work like that. No, just don't avoid that. It's not like you go to your tax preparer, they ask for supporting information. And you say, you know what, I don't know how much, I think, put any expense you want to put over there. No, it doesn't work like that. They're going to just say you owe the money. That's it.
Okay.
Yes. So what other question do we have? If we don't have any other question, maybe we're going to stop at this point. It's been a very long meeting today. I didn't anticipate to be that long. So what I said here is that in the group, I'm going to post the process to subscribe for this spreadsheet that everybody who receives a loan should actually get. Because everything that is going around, okay, I say over here, whatever you have to do here is simple. When you get this, you put your date. Put the date you receive the loan here. Once you put the date, let's change it. Let's receive the loan this first week on May. let's say June 12, 2020. You have everything. It's going to populate all the weeks that you have to trace. And on this one, we will actually also put all of this over here. You see here, week 1 is June 12th. Exactly what you saw over there. It will show all the weeks here on this other page. This is the table that actually tells you how much will be forgivable according to what you put here. So according to what you put here, just put blindly, put all the information here. The system will calculate the amount that goes here, and you will see how much money you will be eligible for forgiveness. Okay. Okay. Yes. So in the group, I'm going to post there for people to subscribe to get a copy and start plugging the information again. If you plug your information and you see that everything is not available, then you have to. Or by the way, we will go through the 24 weeks program next week. You'll be part of our discussion. We'll tell you how to do it. This formula is 75-20. The 24 weeks is 60-40, right? It's a 60-40 formula. So if you see that, oh, I did everything, but I don't have 100% forgivable. I see after I owed some people. You see, before I changed it, somebody was owing $1. You were not here. After forgiveness was $1. So you have to choose. If you go to say, okay, there's an $1, you're going to say, okay, you know what? Let's move the 24 weeks so I can see how much I'm going to claim everything. Yes, it's just up to you guys. Okay. So if we don't have Metapo, c'est bon.
Oh ouais, c'est bon.
Okay. Yes. Oh, so do you guys keep all of you guys questions for the other for the EIDL? Post your question for the EIDL in the group because we took longer than we were actually planning to spend. But it was worth it because we had to explain very carefully and with details what this is about and why we should actually do this. Because you don't do this, you are surprised that they will tell you owe $6,000, even $500. I see people crying because they have to pay taxes for $600. So if they say you're gonna owe $600, you're gonna owe $600 with interest. They have interest on it, right? So basically, let's go there. I'm going to post the two links. There's two links. I went on YouTube, the two links that was explaining the step to take to make the loan forgiveness. This is just the last step, but I actually explained at the beginning of this program, not today, of course. I mean, a few months ago, the step to take to make your loan forgivable. Okay, I'm going to post it in the group that I've created. So if you go to the group, you will be able to see the two first YouTube video that you can watch. By the way, if you go to my Facebook page, you will also see the same video there. I just put them on YouTube. But I'm gonna put the YouTube link on on the group that we created so that everyone can go back and watch the step. I think it's a 25 minute video. Yes. So without further ado, if there's no more question, I think we're going to put everything in here and at the same time. The link that you are using, the same link. This is a reminder. The same link will be used next week. That's why you guys have to know. You should use the same link next week to connect to the meeting. It will be the same link. So if you don't to connect to the video, it's a recurring meeting. That means the Zoom is the same unless I change the platform, because I heard about 2 different other platforms that I may use for the video. If I adopt the new platform, then there will be a different link. But if I don't adopt a new platform, then we will continue with the same link that you guys have. Okay? Okay.
All right.
You guys have a very wonderful weekend. Okay, man.
Same to you. Right.
Okay, man. That was a very good meeting today. Hopefully, next week is the same thing.
All right.